and next my gold. Open the shrine that I may see my saint. I have no wife, no parent, no child, ally to give my substance to, but whom I make must be my heir. And this makes men observe me, women and men of every sex and age, that bring me presents, send me plate, coin, jewels, with hope that when I die, which them expect each greedy minute, it shall return tenfold upon them. All which I suffer, playing with their hopes, and am content to coin them into a profit. Now, my feigned cough, my tysic, and my gout, help with your forced functions, wherein this...
Good day, everyone. So our topic is all about the Volpone by Ben Jonson. So what is Volpone, or who is Volpone all about? So Volpone is a comedy play by English playwright Ben Jonson, first produced in 1605 to 1606, drawing on elements of city comedy and best fable. So Volpone was first performed at the Globe Theatre in the spring of 1906. Its audiences include some aristocrats, prosperous citizens, lower-class groundlings, and more learned people at Oxford and Cambridge, to whom Johnson dedicated the printed edition of Volpone. The play, set in Venice, is about Volpone, which means fox in Italian, a rich man who makes his money by pretending to be a dying man with no family with a large inheritance.
Each legacy hunters arrives to present a gift to Volpone, since Volpone pretended to be in sickness, or pretended that he was sick, except for Corbaccio, who offers only a worthless vial of medicine. In order for Volpone to return the favor, Corbaccio agrees to return later in that day to make him his her. This act of Corbaccio is a boon to Volpone, since Corbaccio, in all likelihood, will die long before Volpone does. So after each hunter leaves, Volpone and Mosca laugh at each gullibility. After Corvinus's departure, Lady Politic would be the wife of an English knight living in Venice, arrives at the house but is told to come back 3 hours later. And after that, Volpone decided that he will try to get a close look at Corvinus' wife named Celia, whom Mosca describes as one of the most beautiful women in all of Italy. Celia was kept under lock and key by her husband, who has 10 guards on her at all times.
The man's gone already. It's Master Volpone the lawyer. I know the voice.
But first, my guns.
What now? Late, sir! Huge! Massive! With your name engraved! Good, good. And now the fox mocks the vulture. I'll lay me down and make him think I'm ready for an extreme unction. Now let the comedy begin! Master Volpone, how magnanimous of you, sir, to sacrifice your time. All Venice knows how precious it is. Sir, Master Volpone has come. What? Say you? Sir, Master Volpone is come this morning to visit you. Oh, I thank him. And he has brought an antique plate, which he here presents. He is welcome. Pray him to come more often. Yes.
How is this possible?
Barely there. He's like a handful of that.
his signature. That am I the sole heir?
The second act portrays a time just a short while later that day, and we meet Sir Politic would-be Lady Politic's husband, who is conversing with Peregrine, and a young English traveler who has just landed in Venice. Sir Politic takes a liking to the young boy and vows to teach him a thing or two about Venice and Venetians. Peregrine too enjoys the company of Sir Politic, but only because he is hilariously gullible and vain. The two are walking in the public square in front of Corvino's house and are interrupted by the arrival of Scudo Mantua, actually Volpone in disguise as an Italian mountebank or medicine showman. Scudo engages in a long and colorful speech, hawking his new oil, which is touted as a cure all for disease and suffering. At the end of the speech, he asks the crowd to toss him their handkerchiefs, and Celia complies. Corvino arrives just as she does this and flies into a jealous rage, scattering the crowds in the square. Volpone goes and complains to Mosca that he is sick with lust for Celia, and Mosca vows to deliver her to Volpone. Celia then arrives, implying to Corvino that if he leads
Yes. And important age treasures. And Moscow, think of something we might still do to them all. Think hard, you're a clever scamp. Here, I'll give you 10. No, 20 ducats, if you can think of something. But it must burn like pepper. Well, let me see. Oh, Corvino, where can we get him? In his sorest spot, of course, his wife. His wife? Magnificent. I'll give you 20 more ducats if you can bring the rascal to it. As far as Corbaccio, his hot-headed son stands in the way, and Volpone, he's spent his last ducat, I'm afraid. I have faith in you. Quick now, my boy, run to it.
Volpone!
Who's that? Canina. That's a secret rid of her.
Oh, Volpone, it's your nobly born bride, Canina.
Morning, slut. Now go away. He's sleeping.
I'll wait till he gets up. People like me have learned to be patient with men. Always to have the same man. Why shouldn't I try it for once? I have the license right here. Oh! You sweet boy.
I have to go.
And I am to stay here all alone.
Get a foretaste of marriage with a rich old man. Ha! Oh! Oh!
Where were you this morning?
Oh, good.
Ah! You jump! You grow pale! Where were you, you deceitful woman? You church wanton, you arch harlot!
Oh, husband, when will you learn to trust me?
Trust? If I let you out of the house, you come home from the baker's all covered in poppy seed.
Oh.
See, Ted?
Quite the contrary.
How is this possible?
Well, he stood up, took a few steps, and asked for a woman.
Damnation!
A gentle, appetizing woman.
Columba!
very fine.
She must have money then. Send her.
I hope I haven't disturbed your nap.
I have no time to nap. How may I serve you?
Oh, sir, I am so tired. Tired of this earthly life. What is it all worth? Oh, it's Mosca and very urgent.
Master? He's dead? Nah! You come back tomorrow. Oh, tell me what news.
I have run my shoes ragged to keep you well informed. The doctor's coming, so that once more Volpone can all day pet. Everything's in order.
Oh, I've given enough. Very well. 30 seconds, but no more.
With a soliloquy from Mosca, indicating that he is growing increasingly conscious of his power and his independence from Volpone. Mosca then runs into Bonario, Corbacio's son, and informs the young man of his father's plans to disinherit him. He has Bonario came back to Volpone's house with him in order to watch Corbaccio sign the documents, or hoping that Bonario might kill Corbaccio then and there out of rage, thus allowing Volpone to gain his inheritance early. Lady Politic again arrives at Volpone's residence, indicating that it is now mid-morning approaching noon. This time, Volpone lets her in, but his son regrets it, for he is exasperated by her talkativeness. Mosca rescues Volpone by telling the Lady Politic has been seen in gondola. Volpone then prepares for seductions for Celia. While Mosca hides Bonario in a corner of the bedroom, in anticipation of Corvaccio's arrival, but Celia and Corvino arrive first. Celia complains bitterly about being forced to be unfaithful, while Corvino tells her to be quiet and do her job.
The early afternoon, Peregrine and Sir Politic are still talking. They are soon interrupted by Lady Politic, who is convinced that Peregrine is the prostitute Mosca told her about, admittedly in disguise. But Mosca arrives and tells Lady Politic that she is mistaken. The courtesan he referred to is now in front towards Celia. Lady Politic believes him and ends by giving Peregrine a seductive goodbye with a coy suggestion that they will see each other again. Peregrine is incensed at her behavior and vows revenge on Sir Politic because of it. Now the scene switches to the Scrutinea, the Venetian Senate building, where Celia and Bonario have informed the judges of Venice about Volpone's deceit, Pone's attempt to rape Celia, Corvaccio's disinheritance of his son, and Corvino's decision to prostitute his wife. But the defendants make a very good case for themselves, led by their lawyer, Voltaire. Voltaire portrays Bonario and Celia as lovers, Corvino as an innocent jilted husband, and Corvaccio as a wounded father nearly killed by his evil son. The judges are swayed when Lady Politic comes in and identifies Celia as the seducer of her husband, Sir Politic. Further, they are convinced when Volpone enters the courtroom, just order that
so you can hear and see everything, but don't come out until I call. Your father's in a hurry and won't be waiting long.
I'm going. But if you're hoodwinking me...
All right. Right to yourself behind the screen. Get rid of one fool. Oh, blast! It's working. Both are hooked by the gill. Corvino's here before old Corbaggio, and I told him to wait an hour. Oh.
It's merely a bundle of disease and infirmity.
Greetings, Columba. As beautiful as you are chaste, the treasure of
Silence, coward!
Is this he? But he looks young and unhealthy to me.
This is his puppy. Don't you dare think of saying a word to him. Not a word, not a look. Did you give my message to Volpone? How did he take it?
Oh, but how thankful he was to you. He has signed and sealed you as his sole heir. But listen for yourself. Master Volpone, your friend Corvino has come.
Good friend. Here is my spouse, Columba, whom I brought to guard your slumbers. You stay here, my...
Give me your hand. Oh. A hand upon your heart.
Oh, I don't believe it! It's a miracle! Oh, I was sent straight to Corvino to tell him what has happened.
But no! Stay here. I could.
Your little game is played out!
You louse! Who's got the issue? Didn't you swear to stay quiet?
Stay quiet. Yes, that would just suit you.
Is he dead? You have murdered my bridegroom!
Did someone here call for help?
Come in.
Arrest that murderer!
Everything's already settled.
You stay. I am Benario of the fleet. This man forced himself upon a Venetian lady, and I demand justice.
He tried to use force on this one?
No, this one, I swear on it.
And do you also swear?
Get Volpone! I know nothing at all! Volpone can't walk a step, you can see for yourself!
Then have him carried. Now, to the court.
And those who are silent, bring forth the old magnifico Volpone!
Do you know what to say then? Your wife went to Volpone out of sympathy without your urging.
But won't that shame me?
The only shame would be is if you had sent her.
Well, let us begin. Are all the witnesses who were cited in the case against Volpone accused by Benario of attempted violation of a Venetian lady and other manifold deceits?
They are, except that I will speak on behalf of that unfortunate Volpone, if you will allow it, since he cannot defend his honor, which was so unjustly threatened by that hothead there.
Yeah!
You accuse me? You lie, merchant, you mangy wig.
You have not the floor. Wait until the court has recognized you. Captain, outline what took place to me.
I was sitting in the tap room, and suddenly there was a horrible yell.
I am so delirious of this scoundrel, a plague on you.
Carry the poor invalid away. I hope the excitement has not harmed him. The court is adjourned. Clear the room.
All seems good for Volpone until Mosca returns, and instead of confirming Voltor's claim that Volpone is alive, Mosca denies it. Mosca, after all, has a will written by Volpone and in his signature stating that he is Volpone's heir. Now that Volpone is believed to be dead, Mosca legally owns Volpone's property, and Mosca tells Volpone that he is not going to give it back by telling the truth. Realizing that he has been betrayed, Volpone decides that rather than let Mosca inherit his wealth, he will turn them both in. Volpone takes off his disguise
and finally reveals the truth about the events of the past day. Volpone ends up being sent to prison while Mosca is consigned to a slave galley. Voltor is disbarred, Corbaccio is stripped of his property which is given to his son Bonario, and Corveno is publicly humiliated, forced to wear donkey's ears while being rode around.
Tournament weapon goes in front of each legacy hunter, deriding them for having lost. Volpone inherits to as a parasite such as Mosca, and he successfully avoids recognition, but decided to recant his testimony in front of the Senate, implicating both himself and importantly Mosca as a criminal. Corvino accused him of being a sore loser. Upset that Mosca has inherited Volpone's state upon his death, and the news of the death surprises the senators greatly. Volpone nearly recovers from his blunder by telling Volpone, in the middle of the Senate's proceedings, that Volpone is still alive. Mosca pretends to faith and claim to the Senate that he doesn't not know where he is.
Sir, both Tori, Corbaccio, and Corvino are all in a frenzy of distress, demanding your last testament signed and sealed for me. I thought out this last trick all by myself. Sit down, Steve.
Were you called here in your official capacity to witness the opening of the will?
We shall see. Go to the court. Bring a judge here immediately. We need a legal witness.
Oh, I have to get out of here.
Mosca, my dear. Is he dead? Is he really dead? Oh! Maybe like some people have strokes and regain their breath after using them corpses.
Unseal the document yourself.
There are witnesses here.
Yes.
All citizens of Venice.
He returns home tired and worried that he is actually growing ill, for he is now feeling some of the symptoms he has been faking. To dispel his fears, he decides to engage in one final prank on the legacy hunters. Perfectly. And all the 3 legacy hunters are fooled. Volpone then disguises himself as a Venetian guard, so that he can gloat in each legacy hunter's face over their humiliation without being recognized. But Mosca lets the audience know that Volpone is dead in the eyes of the world, and that Mosca will not let him return to the world of the living, unless Volpone pays up giving Mosca a share of his wealth. Meanwhile, Peregrine is in disguise of playing his own prank and himself as a merchant to the knight and informs Politic the word that has gotten out of his plan to sell Venice to the Turks. Politic, who once mentioned the idea in jest, is terrified when 3 merchants who are in conclusion with Peregrine knock on the door. Politic jumps into a tortoise shell vine case to save himself. Peregrine informs the merchants when they enter that he is looking at the valuable tortoise. The merchants decide to jump on the tortoise and demand that it crawls along the floor. They remark loudly upon its leg garters and fine hand gloves, before turning it over to reveal Sir Politic. Peregrine and the merchants go off. After prank